Okay, now let's go to square root. So what does square root mean? Okay, to square root a number is to put a power of half to the number. Now, this is in contrast to square. Alright, if you remember, to square a number is to put a power of 2 to the number. But here, square root, okay, to square root a number is to put a power of half to the number. That means instead of 2, it's divide by 2. Instead of multiply by 2, you divide by 2. Okay, so let's go and see how we take the square root of 1, 4, 9, 16 and 25. Now remember that 1, 4, 9, 16 and 25, they are all perfect squares. So let's see. So remember, when you want to take a square root of a number, we are actually taking the power of each prime factor and dividing each of the power by 2. Okay, let's go. So when we take square root of 1, okay, since 1 is equals to 1 square, taking the square root of 1 is the same as taking the square root of 1 square. So, take note guys that 1 is not a prime number again here, okay. So revise 1 is not a prime number. So there is no prime factorization for 1 actually, okay. But anyway, when we square root a number, we just have to take the power of its prime factors and we divide it by 2. So we will get 1 to the power of 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1, right? So the new power is this now, right? So we get 1 power of 1 is just 1. Alright. Okay, what about next one? Okay, square root of 4. Okay, now square root of 4, sorry, I put away this one first, okay? Okay, guys. Alright, so square root of 4, how do we get square root of 4? Using its prime factors. Now we know that 4, when expressed as a product of its prime factors, is 2 squared. So 4 is equals to 2 squared. So when you take square root of 4, it's taking the square root of 2 squared. Okay, so now again, take the square root of 2 squared. This power here, we divide it by 2. So when you divide by 2, this 2, the power of 2 becomes 2 power of 1. There you go. Okay. So remember, divide by 2 the power, divide by 2 the power. So you get 2 power of 1, and which is 2. Now what about square root of 9? Since 9 is equals to 3 squared, so square root of 9 is the same as square root of 3 squared. Okay, so again, this power over here, we are going to divide by 2. So we get 3 to the power of 1, which is just 3. Now, we know that 16 is 2 to the power of 4. So square root of the 16 is equal to the square root of 2 to the power of 4. Okay, so what happens to the power over here, power of 4 here? You're going to divide by 2. Okay, 4 divided by 2, guys, will be 2. So 2 power of 2 is equals to 4. And 25 is equals to 5 squared, right? So square root of 25 is the square root of 5 squared. And again, the power here, we're going to divide it by 2. So we get 5 to the power of 1. And 5 power of 1 is just 5. Okay, now what about the other bigger numbers? Let's go. Alright, so again, these are perfect squares. So when we take the square root of 36, it is the same as taking the square root of its prime factors over here, the product of its prime factors. So 2 squared times 3 squared, and each of these power, we are going to divide by 2. Okay, remember guys? So what happens when we divide 2 by 2? We get 1, right? So 2 power of 1 times 3 power of 1. 2 power of 1 is 2. 3 power of 1 is 3. So 2 times 3 equals to 6. Okay, square root of 49 is the same as square root of 7 square. So again, the power 2, we're going to divide by 2. You're going to get 7 power of 1, which is 7. Okay, next one. Oops, a bit too early. Okay, so now over here, 64 is 2 to the power of 6. Square root of 64 will be the square root of 2 power of 6. So again, power of 6 here, we divide by 2. So 6 divided by 2 will be 3, 2 power of 3. So 2 power of 3 is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8, not 6, guys. Okay, 2 power of 3 is 2 times 2 times 2, not plus. Alright, so next one, square root of 81 is the same as square root of 3 power of 4. Okay, it's prime factors. Alright, so now we have 4 to the power of 4 divided by 2. So 4 divided by 2 will be 2. So 3 power of 2. 3 power of 2 is 3 times 3, which is 9. And finally, square root of 100 will mean we are taking the square root of 2 squared times 5 squared. And each of this power, we are going to divide by 2. So divide by 2, divide by 2 each one. Okay. So we get 2 divided by 2 is just 1. So 2 power of 1 times 5 power of 1, which is 2 times 5 equals to 10. Okay, everyone? Now, how about you try to do this question? Okay, try to do this question on your own first. Find the square root of 576 using its prime factorization. Okay, so meaning that you have to find the prime factorization of 576. So express 576 as a product of its prime factors first. So what I would like you to do now is to pause the video right here. Pause now. Pause now. Yes. Okay. Now, if you have done your own workings, you would have gotten the same answer as me. 576, okay, expressed in the form of prime factorization will be 2 to the power of 6 times 3 to the power of 2. Okay, so you're going to write it down over here. Okay, so how do we now find the square root of 576? Okay, so to find the square root means square root of 576 will be the same as taking the square root of its prime factorization. Okay, so equals to this. Alright, so now remember that when we want to find the square root of something, we're going to take the power of each prime factor and we're going to divide it by 2. So we have power of 6 here, we have power of 2 here, and each one we're going to divide by 2. Okay? Alright, so 6 divided by 2 will be 3. 2 divided by 2 will be 1. So you get 2 power of 3 times 3 power of 1. Now what is 2 power of 3? 2 times 2 times 2. 8. And then 3 power of 1 is just 3. So what is 8 times 3? 24. That's how you find the square root of 576 using its prime factorization. Now, we're going to check whether we did it correctly. So you take 24 divided by, oh sorry, not 24 divided by 4. It is actually 24 square. Okay, use your calculator. You should get back 576. And if you don't, that means there's something wrong with the answer and you redo. Okay, and check where was your mistake. Okay guys, that's all. We stop here. Alright, practice some more. Practice makes perfect. Okay, go through the questions and examples inside your textbook. And then after that, look at the solutions at the back. Okay, practice and then check the solutions. Thank you everybody.